couples, let's talk about love.
We're not experts. We're just taking you on our journey of love.
So today we're broadcasting live from the Pink Palace Boutique. And we're going to turn it over to Miss Nikki Baby so she can tell you about her little business here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm here at the Pink Palace Boutique Security Square Mall, where I have women's fashion, clothing, lingerie. I also do customizing clothing. Come check me out. Again, we at Security Square Mall, the Pink Palace Boutique. There's all types of things here. I'm Miss Nikki Baby. Check me out.
Yes, Miss Nikki Baby.
Love it.
And this is a good segue into our topic today.
Talking about the 6 types of intimacy.
Intimacy, baby. We talk about lingerie. Ooh, yes. Okay, be fresh. I'll be fresh. So you see us now. You only have been hearing from us, but now you see us.
You get to see us. Whoa.
Yes. So let's get right into it. We're excited to be here. How was your day, babe?
It was great. Got to see some great stuff, do some good things.
We did. I'm excited about this journey that we're on. I'm excited about this topic. So let's get to it.
Yes. So, intimacy. When you think about intimacy, I think most people automatically go right into like physical and touch, but there's so many different types of intimacy. So we're going to touch upon them all. We're going to list the different types of intimacy that, we've found, but then we're going to really focus in on 3 of them for this episode. And then we'll continue on the next episode for the 3rd one.
And just keep in mind, we are going to do this in a two-part series, okay? So let's get into it. All right, babe, the first one.
Physical intimacy.
This is why we're at the Pink Palace Boutique.
Because, in order to get physical, you also want to be enticing. You want to, get people excited about you. So, you may want to put something on now. I don't know if I should be putting on any lingerie. Not sure that be the way that people want to see it, but when Monica here puts on the lingerie, then it's like, okay, we get that. That's the sign, the universal sign that the mood is here. Let's go for it.
And I think the most part we need to keep in mind about intimacy on this particular one, that he may not need to see me in lingerie, right, babe?
That's true.
Okay.
Hey, sometimes what she had on this white outfit one time, and I was just like, I was thinking about that all day long. Couldn't wait till she came back.
I bet you couldn't.
But also, kissing, hugging, holding hands, that is also a part of physical intimacy. So, it's, yes, sex is a part of it, but then there's also the other pieces that we want to keep connected as well.
So when we talk about the touch, some people touch by a particular material.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just touch by skin. And he talked about the kiss, which is also an intimate piece. But I also want to make sure that when we talk about intimacy, and we're talking about it on the physical level, is that what brings you to that physical level of intimacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we can't be arguing, that makeup sex, not always the true thing. I mean, it could be good, but then you go back into the argument. So we got to make sure that the mood is set. Everybody's into it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's keeping us from doing what we got to do.
Exactly. And, you can, and there's other ways to get into it, like share a fantasy.
Yeah.
Each other. That's one thing.
Oh, y'all learned a lot about my husband. Okay.
You can take a shower together.
Yes.
You can massage.
Send those little special text messages. Don't be trying to crack my text messages because it ain't going to happen. But anyway.
You can have a really good makeout session, baby.
Say, hey, babe, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about you in them white pants, he always say.
There you go. I'll tell you. That's why I first met her. She had on these white pants with this blue top, and I still remember it till this day. We've been together 13 years, and I tell you, and that's been together 13 years. So that was about 2 or 3 years before then. So we talk about 15 years ago, and I still got that picture vividly in my mind.
And that's important for me because I know that my husband really does fantasize about me. And that's a good part of intimacy as well, too.
That's right.
And then when we take away from the part that we do have our indifferences, we do have that time when we're not in a mood or we're not there. We also go back to, okay, let's go to that intimate part of talking to one another. Sending that special text message, sending that special I love you. You can continue to say I love you even though we pissed at each other, right?
That's right. That's always.
So that's then important. So that's important. So let's go to the other part, which is also a bit big factor in the intimacy parts, especially the physical, the emotional connection.
Which is what you were just talking about. You were just getting there.
We were. So, when you think about emotional connection, that is a huge intimacy piece. Now, my first relationship, there was no intimacy there because we weren't emotionally attached to each other. That plays a big factor because then sex is just sex, right? It's
Right.
like, okay, I'm doing my duty. We done it. Let's move on.
Checking boxes.
Checking boxes. But when we go into that emotional, like we really, like you sit back and be like, damn, that was good. Was
You
that
get
good
to-
for you, babe?
You know, you get to know each other in a deeper way.
We
It
do.
feels like you like that when you are emotionally connected, it's on a whole
A
deeper
whole
level. Like,
nother level.
you know, people talk about. I know, like when you were younger, you're like, oh, who's better? What was the best sex you had? You know what the best sex you have is when you have emotionally connected with that person.
Exactly.
Because you all are in tune. You all are connected in a deeper level. So everything feels good. You know what they're feeling like. When you can start sensing, like, I know what's happening when it's happening. You know, I can feel it. I'm like, okay, you know, we're here, we're there, we're not there. Like, that's the key. And getting that feeling. And I always tell my wife, you know, it's great because, like, it feels like it's the first time again.
You keep making me giggle like a schoolgirl. But anyway, I look at it as this. My emotional connection is when we finish our lovemaking, I'm like, damn, that was great, babe. I felt like we were like, and people, it might be corny, but it's for real. Like I was one with him. Like I think about it at work, I think about it at night, I think about it in the morning. That's where that emotional connection come in at, and I think that's extremely important. And it couples with the physical touch because all of that culminates into the ultimate level of intimacy.
I mean, you think about there are people that they're with somebody just for money, let's say, and they touch them and they're not feeling it.
Nope.
They're not connected to it. They're like, you know what? I don't even want to be bothered with it. You know, again, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm here. Okay, do it. Okay, bye. You know, and there's no feeling beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have that emotional connection and you're like you said, you're one. You feel that oneness.
And I think the other part of it is to ask your partner, like, how does this make you feel? Like we're not, although we're one, we're still individuals, and we want to make sure that that one person is feeling those emotional connections. Like I love what my husband said a few moments ago. I know where she's not in it, and sometimes we don't like to speak up about it. We might not want to say it maybe a little bit embarrassing or what have you. Once you get into the swing of things, it becomes natural at that point. Like, babe, not tonight. Especially like that segment we did, not tonight, but when I feel like it. But anyway.
But I also say, like, you know what, at the end of the day, we're married.
Exactly.
Like, we're a married couple. We ain't going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere.
There's no rush.
None.
I mean, we got all our time, we got all our life to go. So you know what? Hey, if it's not tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe whatever. It's gonna be there. And
I ain't going nowhere.
And when it happens, we know it's gonna be great. So that's all that matters because it's a deeper connection. And you really, the more you are connected, the easier it is to feel intimacy.
Yeah.
Like not. And when I say feel intimacy, like there is a feeling to it.
Not just a physical touch,
no,
but
but it's like
internal feeling.
It feels like the butterflies, the tingling, all of those pieces come because you are so deeply rooted into each other. You are so connected, and that's what's important. Like if you're able to get to that point in your relationship, I always say that I know married couples that they are married, they love each other, but they don't necessarily like each other.
That's true.
You can't be emotionally connected if you're not liking each other. You're just like, oh, so when you have sex, they may just, okay, we're procreating. Like where we are, we're doing this because this is what we're supposed to do, as opposed to like that feeling. I mean, sometimes when Monica comes and just, next thing you know, she's like, come follow me. And I'm like, and it comes out of nowhere.
That's all our business.
I mean, walk in the house and it's like, okay.
Oh my God.
So I'm excited, and that's the key. That's the important thing, but have that feeling. And it brings me back to like, again, when we were just dating, because there was a couple times where that did happen. And it was like, okay, that excitement, and of course, we got to think about it. Yes, the intimacy changes.
It does. It really does.
So when you first get with somebody, you think about it, you're all into it. And because it's new, that newness makes you really want to like keep going. So it may be
And
like,
not only will experience something different. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
this is something
So
different.
that
It's something new. I want to try this out.
you try. It may be an everyday thing, but you know what? As you've been together, it does change,
It does.
which is fine. It doesn't make it any less.
It does.
It just changes.
I think it takes it to another level of intimacy. Like when we want connect, you know how we say I do, we're married, we did this. Oh yeah, yeah. And then next thing we know, well, what are you doing next? We just gonna keep doing it like jackrabbits? Not really. Because life starts
be life.
lifing,
Exactly.
right? But it changes the perspective of how we feel about each other. I think that true level of intimacy is so important because no matter that time I say I'm not into it, I still know that level of intimacy for us is still there, regardless of the time, place, or whatever we want to do. But we got to keep in mind that the emotional coupled, because I really believe that all 6 of these cannot work without them being together. Like you can't have one without the other, and I think that's really true.
I agree. You can't. And you see, we start off with physical. Because again, when you think about intimacy, first thing you think about, if somebody says we're not intimate, your mind goes there. But again, there is that other part where we said the emotional part.
Exactly.
So how do we emotionally connect? Because that is that next level. And hence the reason why it builds upon it. So all these intimacies that we're going to talk about are connected. They're connected.
And like they Monica build. Said. They start to build.
So that's important that we look at it. And again, that emotional side, it comes from communication, which has been a theme in our podcast the whole time.
Yes.
We have to communicate, and if you're talking to each other, if you're sharing each other's fantasies, you're sharing each other's deepest thoughts, you're sharing each other's deepest emotions, what you love, what you don't like.
Fantasies.
Yeah, baby. What's your fantasy? Hold on. Let me
okay, stop. Would you stop? Anyway,
when you get home, run the bath, put on that candle. I said, break out some chocolates into it, and let me tell you what you gotta do.
Okay, got me pretty hot and tempted over here. But anyhow, so we go back. I do want to go back really quickly about the physical touch. Okay. I know for me, the physical touch means like at some point I need that. And when I say the physical touch, like I'm a kisser, like a deep, passionate kisser. That means a lot to me. And I know that Jason he loves physical touch, period. He don't care where it is. You just say, touch him. And I can just touch him on the leg and go crazy. I love that. I just touched him on the leg. That's what happened. Anyway, but I know that certain things. Stop it. Well, certain things really spark for me, and that's that passionate kiss. Because a kiss to me is the most intimate thing. I mean, we can have intercourse, we can, but if you can kiss me with this level of I so passionately love you, oh, I'm turned on. Really. And so with Jay, what is yours?
Just touch in general. I mean, the minute you rub your hands on my head or my back or just like touch my chest, and you all you gotta do is just touch me. I mean, that's
well, going there. I just was saying, hey, babe, that's it, and it's
pretty simple for me. It's like my skin is very sensitive to my wife.
So don't y'all come over here touching my husband, okay? I have a problem situation. But anyway, okay, good. I'm glad he put that out there. But I know that some people, that physical touch means different levels for everyone. So keep that in mind. Those are what ours are. I want you to take that time and explore what's yours. Take that time to just say, hey, this is what turns me on. If it's putting on that nice, pretty, sexy piece of lingerie that makes him go bonkers about, like, oh, this is so sexy, because me, sex lingerie comes off. It don't stay on forever, right?
That's right.
And that skin to skin. So we would talk about something really like, when she woke up and she walks out with that.
You gotta touch me.
If that's
I'm
your
trying to touch you.
physical,
Go down in my mind.
if that's your physical thing,
And for all
then
y'all that can't see this, when you can see it, that was. If you saw the video, you would understand what I'm saying. But that's where Nikki Baby pulls out the stuff for us, and that's why we in the Pink Palace Boutique.
yes, because we want to
There's a
give you
reason.
every little piece of what you need
And look,
to get that intimacy level going.
before you even stop and go to home, you need to stop off at Security Square Mall.
Yes.
Get you something, bring it home, and practice a little bit of this
Start that
intimacy.
first level of intimacy, that physical
first.
touch. Okay.
And I guarantee you put some of these things on, and
She got some nice items here. But yeah, so we know that the physical is your first. It shouldn't be your last. The emotional is your second. That coupled together. You know that the emotional connection is important. And so the next one is our what?
experiential. We're going to experiment. We're going to, experience things together. We're going to do things together. Sometimes just like doing it so couples work out together.
Yes.
Couples plan exciting dates for each other.
We do yoga together.
We do podcasts together.
Yes.
Maybe you will design something on a wall, or pick out some outfits together. I keep saying I want to do this one date where we're going to go to Walmart.
Not Walmart.
And we're going to pick out outfits.
We are not selling for Walmart, so keep that in mind.
I just pick, any kind of discount store. I'm just going to pick out a discount store, and we're going to go and pick out outfits for each other. And we're going to have a budget, maybe like $20 or $25, and you got to make it work. And then we got to wear that outfit and go out on a date. So,
oh my God.
The challenge is you don't want to be too crazy because you walk with this person.
That's right.
So, you're going to be embarrassed in there if you made them look too crazy. But you also want to see how creative you can be. And we've done things. I mean, we did the taste testing one.
Yeah.
We've done the candle making dates.
I also like the fact when we talk about experimenting, like coming out of that comfort box. Like, come on out the box. Sometimes we got to do a little something special, a little something freaky deaky sometimes. We don't know. But you don't know until you try it. So I think experimenting is key. Like, maybe one day when he come on, just jump on him. Just yeah.
I vote for that.
Just like, not the lead me to the room. I think we tried one. I think I tried one time.
Well, remember that time when you came over when we were just dating? So
are we telling our
I'm gonna tell a story.
Oh my
God. So we was just dating.
Oh my God.
It was one night, and she called me, and I was like, she said, "You home?" And I was like, "Of course I'm home." We were like, "Open the door," and I was like, "Open the door? What do you mean?" And see, and my door was down the stairs, so I was like, "Huh? Open the door?" Like, I'm in the bed, and she was like, "Yeah, open the door." I was like, "Okay." So I came down the stairs, and she's in a raincoat, and I'm thinking like, my dumb self. I'm like, "It's raining outside." You okay? She's like, and then she came in.
He's younger than I am, but we don't digress.
She came in and came upstairs and opened up the raincoat.
That's just exactly how he looks.
So my eyes was big, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yes." So I enjoyed it. And in my mind, I'm thinking, "You drove over here like that?"
Instead of, "Ooh, I'm gonna get that."
What if you got pulled over?
I had on my raincoat.
But
was he gonna tell me to open up my raincoat? Absolutely not.
I had the time of my life. I had the time of my life. It was great.
You know what?
We had a good time.
And I think that was a part of, okay, I know that I can pull about any little stunt with him and he's okay with it.
Yep.
I think one of the things, you should tell him the other ones though. So we've had our experiences of things.
You gonna tell him
to you? We
tell
don't
it,
to the world. So we
tell it. You want me to tell it?
You go ahead, tell it.
Right, so it was one night. We decided we was
y'all get some good
stuff here today. We was ready. Right then and there. So we went out to this club.
We was
and
all hot and bothered
and
each
we
other.
Was hot and bothered, and then so we decided to pull back around behind. It was like an abandoned like mall kind of area. So we're gonna pull back behind.
And we weren't married. Yeah, we were heathens. Okay, go ahead.
We were living together.
We were living together.
We were real
still heathens.
Our driver's license did say the same thing.
We had the same address.
It's important for the story.
It is.
So we get back there and we get back.
We couldn't keep our
We was about to, and then next thing you know,
It's like,
and the bright light shined into the car.
and
And
I'm
it was
sitting up there
like-
going, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go
It
to
was
jail
like-
today for indecent exposure."
It was like, this is the police. I'm coming to your car. It was like, oh my God.
Terrified.
We were like, what are you gonna do? So he comes over and he's like, I saw you all coming back here, so I knew what was going on. He was like, people do this on the regular, so we've had this issue before. And he said, let me see your license, your ID. So we both give him my ID.
As I'm trying to pull my shirt back
And
on,
he's looking at the IDs, and he said, damn it. He said, y'all live in the same place.
we did.
He said, y'all got home with this mess. He said, y'all married? And we said, no, not yet. He said, y'all need to go. This is ridiculous. Why are y'all back? He said, now, I wish me and my wife would do something like this. He said, I wish me and my wife would do something like this, but he said, that's beautiful. But at the same time, take you out home. He was like, this ain't safe. And he was like, because you can get robbed back here, all kind of stuff. He said, so just go home. He said, I love y'all, but go home.
So that's an experience I will never do again.
No.
Okay, so no. But
It was fun.
again, it was fun.
Oh
It was
my God.
that adrenaline, like, oh my gosh, it was amazing, right?
It was great. And you know what? It was just, we've sneaked off into another room.
And all that.
You know,
Good
it's-
gracious, y'all
you
got
make
some
it work.
tea on us
Like,
today.
hey, if we can make it happen, we're gonna make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen. And I think it keeps up that emotional connection when we do those little things with each other. We sneak a little pat on the, I remember we went to a party one time, and before we left the house, we got it in real quick. And I put my shirt on backwards, and I didn't realize it. And I'm at the party, and we just having a good time. And then my friend comes over. She said, "Come here, come here." She said, "Your shirt's on backwards." And I was like, "Huh?" She said, "You ain't do that here, did you?" Like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I'm like, no, I didn't do that here.
It was in your old apartment. The whole apartment, you walk right into the apartment.
Oh no.
We had just finished.
Literally.
We
were
It
still
was-
sweating.
Yep. And next thing you know, you hear keys.
My daughter walks in the door.
Luckily, we had just finished and we were done.
Oh my
But
God.
I was like, had she came
Maybe
3 minutes
3
before?
minutes before, she'd have got a whole bunch of
Because
everything. out
luckily,
there.
you had 2 bathrooms. So luckily, I had already gone to one of the bathrooms. And luckily, my clothes were in there too, because had they not been, it could have been like,
She'd been traumatized. I think
yeah.
she would have been traumatized.
because she'd have
But
seen
it's
everything.
okay.
She'd have walked in and just,
But I think that's
Everything.
a part of keeping things fun.
Yeah.
And and
yeah.
sometimes that fizzles out. But you have to bring it back to step number 1, which is the physical,
Yep.
then the emotional. When you start to lose some of those steps
That's when you
in the
start to experience.
process,
You start to use some experiences to bring you back. Doing things that, and again, it could also be doing things that the other person likes. So it doesn't have to be sexual.
it does not.
It could be, you know what? Hey, like we played kickball together.
Ugh.
And
Very
it was fun. We had a good time. We were both in pain because we were too old for that.
too old.
But we had fun. And then, you know what? At the end of the day, that's the key. Like my wife joined me in this activity, which was great. So that made it, that's part of that experience. That's part of that emotional connection. And then, we were doing something physical, but then it turned into, something like, hey, that was fun, right?
And then, I also think about like showing up at the job. It's like, hey,
Mhm.
and to see his face light up, like, oh, hey, babe, you're here. And like, I think
I love
those
it.
things are really great. Just like unexpected. Just, keep that spontaneity going.
Yep.
Just keep it moving, and to not lose the steps in your intimate journey.
Yeah.
And when you couple those 3 together, then you start talking about the more in-depth parts of intimacy. And we're going to cover those
Yep.
in our next
So
topic,
our next topic, we're going to talk about intellectual intimacy,
which is important.
spiritual intimacy, and self-intimacy.
Yes, because again, all 6 of these tie in together. That makes the whole couple, I really believe.
I agree.
And I do want to touch a little bit on the the intellectual intimacy. I can't talk to a dumb person. I'm sorry. You could like it just. I think one of the biggest attractions for me was that I was talking to a very intelligent man. I was like, "Oh yeah, I like this. This is like getting to me." I was like, "Okay, babe."
She was
So
touching my brain.
oh my gosh, stop it. So I really feel like, to take all six of these, put them together, utilize that to move that relationship forward and keep it going forward is going to play a pivotal role in keeping you all together.
That's true.
And also keeping all other aspects, communication. Again, communication is going to be in every aspect of that relationship from day one. And so when we talk about intimacy, we talk about that physical. Like, yeah, we can look at a person and they get excited. And then but it's not good if it's not attached to an emotional connection.
That's true.
Right? And then when you have that emotional connection, then you have the next one where you start to experiment. You try to take those intimacy and take them to another level. I think that keeps the relationship intact.
Yeah.
I keep it interesting, keep each other interesting, and to never lose that. Because once you start to lose the intimacy part, things kind of start to fall apart.
Yeah, and that's when you start. It's hard because you got to weigh, the arguments, the life, everything going in. But you got to figure out ways to reconnect, and it's all about. At the end of the day, what we're talking about is connection.
Yes.
How do we connect with each other? Like again, for us, part of this experience, and I said it. We're doing this podcast. This is a part of that experiential intimacy. Us sharing. It's therapy for us.
It really is.
Hopefully it's therapy for you all as well.
And we hope it helps you as well. It doesn't have to be a do-all.
No,
it's be all the end all. No, it's
real
not.
people talking about real stuff and just sharing and just having a good time. But it also brings us together and it gives us something to do that is us. So we love doing it, especially on. We talked about. I think we mentioned it in some of our recordings before. Our weekends. We block off 1 weekend a month just for us. And we'll try to record some podcasts during that time as well because this is all about us. Yeah. So it's the perfect opportunity because at that point we try our best to keep life from lifing.
From interfering into our
so that we can, just focus on us, which is part of that, that's self-care, that's self-intimacy or our couple intimacy. I guess it's almost like a seventh one where we, where you're like, how do we take care of ourselves
exactly
as well? And that's what we're doing with this. This is part of that. It's an emotional support.
Yeah, and we want to leave you all with this. We want you to do three things. We want you to find what your physical touch is, what makes you and your partner physically like that touch. Is it a kiss? Is it a hug? Is it a, just a touch on the leg? And then we want you to tap into your emotional, like what makes you emotionally connected to your significant other? Because that's also an important role too. And then finally, that last one is, have you experimented? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for him? What does that look like for us as a couple? So those are your questions for the day. I want to see your comments or whatever have you tap into us. So we're going to leave you with this. Thank you for listening. Thank you for seeing us today. We might try to do more of these. We say, I look cute. I don't realize how cute I look. But anyway, thank you, baby. So we want you to say, that you stop it. Thank you for listening. Hit us up on Instagram. Shout us out on Facebook. Know that I love you.
All streaming platforms.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love my rock. And baby, we are here. Thank you for listening. Next one is going to be the other three parts of intimacy. Check y'all later. Love y'all.
Hold on. Let me show them what I kiss you.
Bye, guys.
Woo! Cheers, baby.
Cheers.